Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and it's time for our match reaction to what was a fantastic performance from Celtic this afternoon. What a way to bounce back from the midweek drop points in the Champions League. Celtic 5, Ross County 0. And I know there's still some games to be played this weekend, but to be 5 points clear of the team in second place, to be 14 points clear of your rivals, isn't bad going into December. Merry Christmas. Advent starting off with a bang. Let's talk about that. Like and subscribe, all of that nonsense, it would be appreciated. We're back for a match reaction video. Celtic 5, Ross County 0, a 5-star performance from Celtic. Well, the first half was a 5-star performance. Kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit in the second. But listen, we could have had 3 or 4 in the second half. I think we hit the post like 3 times. A couple of good saves from the Ross County keeper. I think the intensity maybe dropped a little bit, but the intention to score goals was still there. And did Ross County lay a glove on us this afternoon? I don't think so. I think that it was all Celtic. Let me just have a look at the stats very quickly. Did they? 2 shots, 1 on target. I don't remember the shot on target. Sorry, Ross County. I give Ross County a lot of credit in the podcast for the preview to this game, talking about how much I respect the job that Don Cowie's done there and the football that they're playing for a club the size of Ross County and being from all the way up north and whatever. But today they didn't lay a glove on Celtic. Celtic won 5-0 going on 10, and it was a fantastic performance from us. And, you know, we think about Wednesday. For some it was a disappointment, for some it was a good point. Nonetheless, it wasn't a win. And Celtic had to bounce back. They had to win today, and I think they had to win convincingly as well, just to maybe take a little bit of that annoyance away from the midweek result. And they done that. They done that really well. That first half performance was one of the best 45 minutes of football I think I've seen all season at Celtic Park. And when you consider that Brendan Rodgers made 6 changes going into the game, that's the big talking point, isn't it? The fact that we really flexed our muscles when it came to showing off our depth in this game. You know, that was an opportunity for players to step up, the likes of Luke McCowan, the likes of Paulo Bernardo, the likes of Adam Ida, Liam Scales, who's been dropped in recent games, and I think you could pretty much say not one of the starting centre-halves now at Celtic. An opportunity for these players to go out and show that the depth at Celtic is the best it's been in a long time, and I think they've done that. I think they've done exactly that. So, as routine as today was for Celtic, as you would expect Celtic to do, it's Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff at Parkhead, and that's beat these teams. They done it with a point to prove, and a couple of players that really deserve a full match reaction themselves. Thinking of one particular midfielder who I could sit here talking about for 10 minutes today, and I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about. But Brendan Rodgers brought the intensity this afternoon. The players brought the intensity this afternoon, and we're flying. Going into December in the position that we're in is unbelievable. What a start to the season we've enjoyed. Just to recap, before we turn to the game here, 13 games played, 12 won, 1 drawn, 37 points out of a possible 39. Incredible. This is the best start to the season that I've ever seen Celtic have in my lifetime. I've never went into December feeling the way that I feel. God, I love it. First half performance was just unbelievably good from all aspects, defensively, in transition, an attacking point of view, wings. I just thought that we were unbelievable all round on that pitch today. I couldn't pick out a single negative from our first half performance, and we got things cooking almost instantly. We could have scored before the first goal. We had a couple of decent chances. But then the first goal came through Liam Scales, who headed it in the back of the net from Luke McCowan's corner. Great cross, great header. And in that opening kind of 10-15 minutes, how many great balls in did Luke McCowan give, by the way? I think there was 3 corners alone, which were really good stuff. You know, I've kind of criticised their ability with corners in recent times, and I kind of worried for us when Matt O'Reilly left. Then Arnott Engels came in and started off strong with his set-piece showings. But Luke McCowan today comes in, and I was the first 15 minutes, I was like, corners, by the way. Corners. Looking good. And Liam Scales puts away the first, puts us 1-0 up. We then go 2-0 up through Luke McCowan. And I know the goal takes a deflection. I know that it had a little bit of help on the way in. But the pass from Liam Scales is unbelievable, by the way. What a ball. And that's the thing, we know Liam Scales has that in his locker. We've seen Liam Scales do that in the past. I've seen him do it a couple of times, actually. But the ball to McCowan is unbelievable. And the way that he takes the finish, you'd think he was a striker. The composure, the ability, the technique to move his body the way that he does, to connect with the ball the way he does. I don't know what would have happened if the deflection never happened. It may have went blazing over the bar for all I know. I don't know where it was going. It was too quick a deflection to really tell how much it changed the flight of the ball. But it's unbelievable technique from Luke McCowan. And let me just isolate this section of the show to talking about him. Luke McCowan, what a performance. A real statement performance from him this afternoon. And I'm growing to love him more and more and more. Wow. We bought that boy for £1 million. £1 million. You think about what he could do. And this league, teams are jealous that we have him, you know. He would stroll into any team starting 11. And he's here at Celtic with a point to prove to try and stroll into our starting 11. I tell you that because, you know, it'd be hard to argue the fact that he should be in there and deserving of more opportunities after that performance this afternoon. A goal and 3 assists for Luke McCowan in the first half alone. And listen, I know you can always talk about the quality of the opposition you're playing. Ross County are down that bottom end, one of the lesser sides in the division, and they had a poor afternoon today. They were very wide open, and I think it was the kind of game where Luke McCowan can take advantage of that. But you can only beat what's ahead of you. You can only play what's ahead again. I just thought he was unbelievable today. A real statement performance. Deserves a lot of credit. I really like him. And it was everything he was doing. His play. I mean, the 3 assists are brilliant as well. The assist for McGregor's goal, the assist for Adam Ida's goal. He's just smart. He thinks fast. He thinks ahead of time. But his movement... and I thought in the first kind of 15-20 minutes, even before he got his goal, he was so hungry, he was so eager to get into different areas to try and create himself goal-scoring opportunities. And that's what I like about him. You know, he's just a real hungry player, and he'll be hungry for more of these opportunities now. It's just he looked so classy today, and you wouldn't guess that we spent £1 million on him from Dundee. You'd think he was the £11 million signing from the Bundesliga with his performance today. And that's not me giving stick to Arne Engels. I love Arne Engels. I'm not on the Arne Engels hate train. Like some people seem to be. I love him. But as equally, I love Luke McCowan. And he looked like a top draw player today. He looked like an elite player today for Celtic. And I know people will go, it's Ross County. I don't care. You know, if you're playing for Celtic, I want you to play well against Ross County. I want you to play well against Club Brugge. I want you to play well against Real Madrid. And you can only beat what's ahead of you. You can only play what's ahead of you. And Luke McCowan played fantastically today ahead of Ross County. So... a real shout out for his performance. Keep it up. He's got to be doing more starts soon. He's got to be. I don't think he's disappointed me once. Whether he's played 5 minutes, 50 minutes. I've been really impressed on what I've seen of Luke McCowan in any opportunity he's been given. And I thought his partnership. I mean, you think about it. How little time he's spent on a park with Callum McGregor and Paulo Bernardo in that exact midfield three. And they looked flawless today. It looked like a really good midfield three. Shout out to Paulo Bernardo as well, who deserves credit. He got the goal that put us up 3-0. And that midfield three today, I thought was what really won us the... Well, not won us the game. That'd be... You know, I'd be able to say that if I won the game maybe 2-1 or 1-0. But I thought it was a real big part of our dominating performance today was how that midfield three played together. Really well drilled. Really looked like an oiled machine. Luke McCowan, man. Smiling for ear to ear thinking about that performance. We finished off the first half with more scintillating goals, a scintillating performance. Bernardo, as I mentioned, made it 3. Callum McGregor. What's got a name this season? I know it's been a few weeks since we've seen him score from long range like that, but oh my goodness, Callum, son. That's maybe the best one yet. Burst the net with that. Great, and I love the confidence in our players to be able to take on opportunities like that, which links into the 5th and final goal of the game, the Adam Ida goal, which is just... Oh, what a goal, lad. I love Adam Ida. You know me, I've been backing him from the permanent transfer onwards. I've been backing him before that. I was obviously a little bit sceptical of the initial signing back in January, but I got behind him very, very quickly, and I started to love him really, really quickly. And a lot of people questioned that £9 million price tag. You know, didn't have an awful lot to do today. I thought a lot of what we were trying to do was through the wings, and he seemed like he was just choking to get that goal and choking to be involved. And then he does that, he delivers that. What a goal, man. Honestly, sensational. The big man's brilliant. And if you've been choking for him to fail, then hang your head in shame. What a player. What a first half. it really is all we generally need to talk about. The second half was fine, wasn't as good as the first half, of course. I don't think Celtic were as relentless, as ruthless as they were in the first half, but you kind of expect, you know, that Kieran said that to me as soon as we went in for the break, oh, it's got to be 0-0 in the second half, isn't it? And he was right, because that seems to happen a lot in football, and it seems to happen a lot with Celtic. Like, you know, there's no point in wasting all of our energy when we have a huge game on Wednesday against Aberdeen. And that's, you know, this performance will take us into Pittodrie in really high spirits, which is good, because I don't know how Aberdeen will get on tomorrow. Obviously, they've dropped points now a couple of times going into this game, but they still are a formidable team. They're still a team who will raise their game at Pittodrie to a level that will challenge Celtic, I believe. So, you know, to go in 5-0 winners today, I think it's huge. And to have these players, both players who start every week and then players who don't start every week, to be playing like that going into it is massive. So I'm really happy, and I don't mind us taking our foot off the gas a little bit in that second half. As I mentioned in the kind of intro to the video, we could have scored 3 or 4 if the post wasn't in the way, or Jack Hamilton never made a couple of saves for Ross County. So yeah, subs were made, people came on. I thought everybody was fine today. You know, no negative performances for me. I think I'd be wasting all of our times if I tried to turn a 5-0 into any sort of conversation about negatives. But what I will say is, noticeable difference on that left-hand side. Alex Barry. He's a starting left-back for me, boys. Don't, as I said, not going to try and spin any negatives out of this, but there was a noticeable difference for me. Alex Barry, I think, needs to start on that left-hand side. But yeah, 5-0 win. Can he whack it? Anyway, a bit of a rushed match reaction. I've got to get myself out. Survivor Series, ICW watch party tonight in Walkabout Glasgow. Get yourself there if you're a wrestling fan. I'm off to go and see it, so I'm going to try and get this edited very quickly. And we will be back on the channel tomorrow to dive deeper into this game, to talk about the bigger picture from the game, what Brendan Rodgers has to say about it, and some other wee things in relation to the next month at Celtic Football Club. So tune in tomorrow for more coverage on the game. Thank you for joining me on this match reaction. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you all next time.